Hello fellow Redditors, how you been? Oh wow, that's crazy. Well, check out some stories from the r/MaliciousCompliance. Hope you all enjoyed the stories. Here we go. You want to review every single candidate. You got it, babe. This is the best time that my warnings went unheeded and made the client regret ever asking. I worked in recruitment for 9 years, and a few years back I had a new client, hiring manager, and she didn't like abiding by the rules set up for the recruitment team. For one thing, we reviewed the applicants, interviewed the best qualified candidates, and then submitted them to the hiring manager for consideration. Well, this hiring manager couldn't understand why we only sent over 3 candidates in a week. Honestly, she's lucky, as some positions did not garner that many applicants. I explained that we submit 3 candidates for every 1 position available. This ensures that the hiring manager's time was considered when scheduling next step interviews. This wasn't just a standard I set, it was approved by her company's top bosses, and frankly was standard at another place I used to work as well. Hiring manager, that is absurd. I want to review all of the candidates so I can tell you whom to prescreen, and then you schedule their interview with me based on my availability. Me? But, Mom, you have almost 100 applicants that met your minimum qualifications. I don't think you really want to devote that much time to reviewing all of these resumes, and honestly, some of them were not great. Hiring manager, are you not listening? Send them all over to me and I'll take care of it. Me? Yes, ma'am. You got it. I'll send those over right away. I wrote an email to the hiring manager immediately after the call, restating the topics discussed by phone, and asked, again, if she was certain she wanted all of the candidates sent to her. She confirmed. I complied and forwarded to my boss with an explanation that she will take care of reviewing all applicants, and my numbers were going to be skewed for the month. I did as requested, selecting nearly 100 candidates in the system and moved them to hiring manager review. Now, what this did was send individual emails for each candidate as an update to the hiring manager, and it would ping her email every 3 days that they weren't reviewed. I smirked, knowing what was about to happen and my rear was going to get chewed out in about a week, but it felt really good because I knew I was right. 2 days later, my boss calls and says he got an irritating phone call from this hiring manager who said she never requested this, to which they responded with the information detailed in my email. She was speechless. He let her know that I would go back into the system and back up the candidate process so it would be taken out of her to-do list, and I would continue to send over candidates that were the best fit for the role as described in our processes. I never received pushback from that hiring manager ever again. Smiley face. When I worked at a gas station in the late 1900s during graveyard, I had this guy come in and bought a candy bar with a 100 bill. Really? You don't have anything smaller? I'm just trying to break the 100. Don't be a jerk. Fine, just this once. Few days later, guy comes back in, grabs a candy bar, and I see he has other bills in his wallet. Puts the 100 on the table. Sir, I told you last time it was going to be just the once. I see you have a $5 bill. This is legal tender. You have to take it. Okay. I reach under the counter and pull out 2 boxes of pennies, 50 cents to a roll, $25 to a box, 17 pounds each. Here is 50. Do you want the rest in nickels? What is this? It's legal tender. I can choose to give you your change however I see fit. So, do you still want to break the 100? Or the 5? I'm calling your manager. She gets in at 8 a.m., sir, but doesn't take any calls until 10. Have a small house in a HOA community. Most of the rules are basic and hardly enforced. However, we got a self-appointed president who did his things his way. We eventually got a lawyer involved and got him out. However, one time he started saying we needed approval for everything, which was incorrect. He even said if we paint our house, we need approval. So had the house pressure washed, which left paint flaking on the foundation. He sent me a letter, so I painted it black. He sends another letter, not an approved color. Looked at bylaws and there was no mention of color. So I left it black, painted the door lime green, and shutters pink. He sends another letter. My lawyer sent a letter. After the president was ousted, I painted my house back to nicer colors. My friends helped me both times, so other than a case of beer and a few gallons paint, I wasn't out anything. Minor malicious compliance that felt really satisfying. I 17 female. I am a very outgoing person. I'm super extroverted and jolly around others. Whenever I meet someone, I'll greet them with a big hug and a smile on my face. To be honest, most people are really happy when I hug them, and that makes me want to do it even more if that makes sense. A few weeks ago, a friend of mine, let's call her Tam, saw me hug a mutual friend. She immediately said, "You greet people as if they're your long-lost lovers." God, that is so cringe. I've been told it's cringe in the past, but the long-lost lovers thing was new, so I decided to do a little bit of mischief. When I showed up to class next day, I hugged every one of my friends except Tam. When I'd hugged everyone, I walked over to Tam and I just shook her hand real slow, making eye contact the whole time. The awkwardness was palpable. This was 3 weeks ago, and now Tam nearly begs me to hug her because the handshake is somehow awkward. I just say, nah, you said it was cringe. I don't know whether it counts as malicious compliance, but goddamn, I love the look on her face when I shake her hand. Edit. No, I don't go around hugging strangers. I don't hug people that have told me they don't like physical contact. No, I don't hug random men. My academy is an all-girls one, so no strange guys whatsoever. I work somewhere that sells pizza. At my store we do not get the veggies pre-cut, we cut them by hand minus the mushrooms and black olives. This includes lettuce, tomato, green peppers, and onions. A customer ordered taco pizza. It is topped with cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, and chip crumbles. He called in after getting home to yell at an employee about the size of the cut lettuce. Then he came in and threw an absolute tantrum over the lettuce. Like full-on meltdown, cussing at the employees, yelling at other guests who were telling him to calm the F down. Well, last night he ordered again. In all caps in the notes he ordered online, he wrote, "Cut the fucking lettuce smaller." I'd bet, cue malicious compliance, I took the measured amount of lettuce out and minced the duck out of it. It was basically lettuce confetti when I was done, topped his pizza. He checked it before he left and said, "Are you ducking serious? This is ridiculous. I'm not paying for this and I'm never coming back again. You people are ducking stupid, I'm calling corporate." To begin with, it was like 1 inch by 2 inches, so not even that big at all. Literally no one else has ever complained. And the order description says chopped lettuce, not shredded, so we're cutting it to spec anyway. One of our teenage employees quipped to me that if he thinks the lettuce is too big they feel sorry for his wife. Make it too expensive for indie filmmakers, fine. Watch paint dry. Paint Drying is a 2023 British experimental protest film that was produced, directed, and shot by Charlie Shackleton. He created the film in 2016 to protest against film censorship in the United Kingdom and the sometimes prohibitive cost to independent filmmakers, which the British Board of Film Classification's BBFC classification requirement imposes. The film consists of 607 minutes, 10 hours, and 7 minutes of a static view of white paint drying on a brick wall. Shackleton made the film to force the BBFC to watch all 10 hours to give the film an age rating classification. He initially shot 14 hours worth of footage of paint drying in 4000 resolution and opened a Kickstarter campaign to pay the BBFC's per minute rate for a film as long as possible. You made it to the end, great job, sub. For more content like this, press the like button if you like it. Dislike it if you dislike. I am out.